The stress epidemic. 7 body signals everyone ignores until it's too late. Introduction. There's an epidemic sweeping across the world right now. It's not a virus. It's not a disease you can catch from someone else. But it's just as dangerous. And chances are you're already infected. It's called chronic stress. And it's destroying millions of people from the inside out. You probably think you're handling it. You tell yourself everyone feels this way. That exhaustion, those headaches, the knot in your stomach, they're just part of modern life, right? That's what you've been telling yourself. That's what everyone tells themselves. But here's the truth. Your body has been trying to warn you. For weeks, maybe months, maybe years. And you've been ignoring it. That tightness in your shoulders that never goes away. The exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. The racing heart for no reason. The digestive problems you blame on food. The fog in your head that makes simple tasks feel impossible. These aren't just random symptoms. They're warnings. Your body is screaming at you that something is very, very wrong. And you're not listening. According to the American Psychological Association, nearly half of all Americans experience significant daily stress, one of the highest rates among developed nations. That's not a coincidence. We're living through a stress epidemic, a global crisis that no one is talking about. Constant notifications, never-ending work demands, financial pressure, political chaos, social media comparison. A world that never stops asking for more of your time, your energy, your attention. And your body is breaking under the weight. Here's what's happening inside you right now. When stress hits, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These are survival hormones designed to help you escape immediate danger. Run from a predator. Fight a threat. Save your life. They're supposed to surge for a few minutes, then disappear. But in the modern world, that threat never goes away. The deadline doesn't end. The financial pressure doesn't lift. The relationship conflict doesn't resolve. So your body stays flooded with stress hormones, day after day, week after week, year after year. And when stress becomes chronic, it doesn't just make you tired. It damages your heart. It weakens your immune system. It disrupts your sleep. It hijacks your digestion. It shortens your life. Research shows that chronic stress increases your risk of heart attack, stroke, diabetes, depression, anxiety, and premature death. It accelerates aging at the cellular level by shortening your telomeres, the protective caps on your chromosomes. It keeps your muscles locked in chronic tension, leading to pain that never goes away. It rewires your brain, making it harder to think clearly, remember things, or control your emotions. This isn't fear-mongering. This is science. This is what decades of research have proven. And this is why your body has been desperately trying to get your attention. But here's what makes this epidemic so dangerous. Most people don't realize they're in crisis until it's too late. Until they're lying in a hospital bed. Until their marriage falls apart. Until they can't function anymore. They ignore the warning signs because everyone around them is ignoring theirs too. They think exhaustion is normal. They think tension is just part of life. They think their body is fine. It's not. Your body doesn't suffer in silence. It sends you clear, specific warnings when stress is crossing the line from manageable to dangerous. 7 signals that show up long before serious damage occurs. The problem is, you've been trained to ignore them. Push through, power through, take a pill, and keep going. This audiobook is about stopping that cycle. It's about learning to recognize the 7 body signals that everyone ignores until it's too late. These aren't vague feelings. These are biological alarms. Your body's way of saying, I can't keep doing this. Something has to change. In the chapters ahead, you'll learn exactly what these 7 signals are, why they happen, and what they mean. You'll understand why your muscles stay locked in tension even when you try to relax. Why your heart races when there's no threat. Why your stomach ties itself in knots. Why exhaustion follows you everywhere. Why sleep has become impossible. Why your head feels like it's filled with fog. Why your breath has become shallow and quick. More importantly, you'll learn what to do about it. Not vague advice like just relax or take a vacation. Real science-backed techniques that work. Practices you can start using today. Right now, in the next 5 minutes. Because here's the thing. Your body doesn't want to stay in crisis mode. It wants to heal. It wants to rest. It wants to feel safe again. And when you finally start listening, when you learn to recognize these signals and respond to them, everything changes. This isn't about becoming stress-free. That's not realistic. Life will always have challenges, deadlines, responsibilities, difficult moments. But it's about recognizing when stress has crossed from helpful to harmful. It's about catching it early, before it becomes chronic, before it causes damage that can't be reversed. You've been living with these signals for so long that you've started to think they're normal. They're not. Millions of people are walking around with the same symptoms, thinking everyone feels this way. They don't have to, and neither do you. This is an epidemic. But unlike other epidemics, you have the power to stop this one. Not with a vaccine, not with medicine, but by finally paying attention to what your body has been trying to tell you all along. The warning signs are there. They've always been there. It's time you learned to see them. Chapter 1. When your body turns to stone, understanding muscle tension. Right now, stop for a moment. Don't change anything. Just notice. Where are your shoulders? Are they up near your ears? Pulled tight like you're bracing for impact? What about your jaw? Are you clenching it? Even just a little? Check your neck. Is it stiff? Tight? Like someone wrapped a rope around it? And your hands? Are they gripping something? Tensed into fists? If you answered yes to any of these questions, your body's already talking to you. And what it's saying is this. You're carrying stress you haven't released. And it's been there so long, you stop noticing. Muscle tension is the first signal most people ignore. You might feel your shoulders creeping up toward your ears while you work. But you brush it off. You wake up with neck pain, but you blame your pillow. You get tension headaches that won't go away, but you take ibuprofen and push through. You tell yourself it's normal. Everyone feels this way, right? Wrong. Chronic muscle tension isn't normal. It's your body's way of screaming that stress has crossed the line from temporary to toxic. And the longer you ignore it, the worse it gets. Here's what's happening inside you. When your brain perceives a threat, a deadline, a conflict, financial pressure, anything that triggers your survival instinct, it activates your sympathetic nervous system. This is your body's ancient alarm system, designed to keep you alive when danger strikes. Your muscles tense up, preparing you to fight or run. Your shoulders pull up to protect your neck. Your jaw clenches. Your hands form fists. Your core tightens. This is supposed to happen. It's biology. The problem is, modern stress doesn't end. The threat your body perceives, the overflowing inbox, the demanding boss, the bills piling up, the relationship problems, it doesn't go away. So your muscles never get the signal to relax. They stay contracted, hour after hour, day after day, week after week, until tension becomes your baseline. And here's the part most people don't understand. Your body can't tell the difference between a real physical threat and a psychological one. Your nervous system reacts the same way whether you're running from a lion or sitting in traffic. It floods your body with stress hormones and tenses your muscles, waiting for you to do something physical, fight, run, escape. But you don't. You sit there. You stay still. And all that energy, all that tension, has nowhere to go. So it stays locked in your muscles. Over time, this chronic tension doesn't just cause pain. It creates a feedback loop with your brain. When your muscles stay tense, they send constant signals back to your nervous system that say, "We're still in danger. Stay alert. Keep the stress response active." So your brain keeps flooding your body with cortisol and adrenaline, which keeps your muscles tense, which keeps signaling your brain that you're in danger. The cycle feeds itself, and you get stuck in a state of perpetual tension that feels impossible to escape. This is why stretching doesn't work. This is why massage only helps temporarily. This is why you can try to relax, but the tension comes right back. Because the problem isn't just in your muscles. It's in your nervous system. Your body believes it's under attack. And until you convince it otherwise, your muscles will stay locked. Research published in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research shows that people with chronic stress carry significantly higher levels of muscle tension, particularly in the shoulders, neck, jaw, and lower back. These are the areas where your body stores unprocessed emotions and unresolved stress. Think of your muscles as a filing cabinet for everything you push down, ignore, or don't have time to deal with. Every time you clench your jaw instead of speaking up. Every time you hunch your shoulders instead of setting a boundary. Every time you hold your breath instead of expressing frustration. Your body files that stress away, in your muscles, where it waits. And eventually, those files overflow. That's when the pain starts. Chronic neck pain that won't go away no matter how many pillows you try. Tension headaches that throb at your temples. Lower back pain that makes it hard to sit or stand for long. Jaw pain from grinding your teeth at night. Shoulder pain that radiates down your arms. These aren't separate problems. They're all connected. They're all your body's way of saying, "I've been holding this for too long. I need you to pay attention." But here's the truth that will change everything. You can break this cycle. Not by forcing your muscles to relax, not by stretching harder or taking more painkillers, but by teaching your nervous system that it's safe, by releasing the stress your body has been storing, by finally giving your muscles permission to let go. Let me show you how. The body scan technique, releasing tension layer by layer. This is one of the most powerful tools you have for breaking the tension cycle. It works because it interrupts the feedback loop between your muscles and your nervous system. Here's how to do it. Find a quiet place where you can sit or lie down for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Now, start at the top of your head. Notice any tension there. Your scalp, your forehead, the area around your eyes. You're not trying to change anything yet. Just notice. Is there tightness? Pressure? Clenching? Move down to your jaw? Are you clenching it right now? Most people are. Gently let it drop open. Let your tongue rest at the bottom of your mouth. Feel the muscles in your face soften. Move to your neck and shoulders. This is where most people hold the most tension. Notice how tight they feel. Are your shoulders hiked up? Gently let them drop. Imagine them melting down away from your ears. Take a deep breath and feel them release a little more. Move down your arms. Notice your elbows, your wrists, your hands. Are you making fists? Gently open your hands. Flex your fingers. Shake out your wrists. Move to your chest and upper back. Are you holding your breath? Are you bracing your ribs? Take a deep breath and feel your chest expand. As you exhale, feel your upper back soften. Move down to your stomach and lower back. Are you sucking in your stomach, holding it tight? Let it soften. Let your belly relax completely. This can feel vulnerable, but it's crucial. Your core holds a lot of stress. Move down to your hips, your thighs, your knees. Notice any tension there. Gently flex and release the muscles. Finally, move to your calves, ankles, and feet. Are your toes curled? Are you clenching your feet? Flex your ankles. Wiggle your toes. Let everything soften. Do this body scan once in the morning and once before bed. It takes 5 minutes, and it trains your nervous system to recognize when you're holding tension so you can release it before it becomes chronic. Progressive muscle relaxation, teaching your body to let go. This technique works by deliberately tensing and then releasing each muscle group. It might sound counterintuitive. Why would you tense muscles that are already tight? But it works because it gives your nervous system a clear contrast. It teaches your body what tension feels like versus what relaxation feels like. Here's how. Start with your hands. Make tight fists. Hold for 5 seconds. Notice the tension. Then release completely. Feel the difference. That's what relaxation feels like. Move up to your arms. Tense your biceps by bending your elbows and flexing. Hold for 5 seconds. Then release and let your arms drop heavy. Move to your shoulders. Pull them up toward your ears as high as you can. Hold. Then let them drop completely. Move to your face. Scrunch up your entire face. Squeeze your eyes shut. Wrinkle your nose. Clench your jaw. Hold. Then release everything. Move to your neck. Gently tilt your head back and feel the stretch in the front of your throat. Hold. Then bring your head forward and feel the stretch in the back of your neck. Move to your chest. Take a deep breath and hold it, feeling your chest expand. Then exhale fully and feel your chest soften. Move to your stomach. Tighten your abs like you're bracing for a punch. Hold, then release completely. Move to your legs. Tense your thighs and calves by pointing your toes. Hold. Then release and flex your feet the other way. Do this sequence once a day. It takes 10 minutes, and it rewires your nervous system's relationship with tension. What to do? Right now. You don't have to wait. You can start releasing tension in the next 30 seconds. Roll your shoulders back 5 times, then forward 5 times. Gently tilt your head to the right, hold for 5 seconds, then to the left. Open your jaw wide, then gently move it side to side. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 6 counts. This simple sequence interrupts the tension pattern. Do it every hour. Set a reminder on your phone if you have to. Because the truth is, your body will keep storing stress until you give it a way to release it. Muscle tension isn't something you have to live with. It's not just part of getting older or just how your body is. It's a signal, a warning. Your body is telling you that stress has been building for too long. And now that you know how to listen, you can finally do something about it. But tension is just the first signal. And if you've been ignoring it, your body has more to say. Let's move to the second signal, one that's even harder to ignore. Chapter 2. When your heart sounds the alarm, the racing heartbeat. You're sitting at your desk. Nothing dangerous is happening. No one is chasing you. No emergency is unfolding. But your heart is racing like you just ran a marathon. Your pulse pounds in your chest, in your throat, in your ears. You feel it in your fingertips. You can't ignore it. And the more you notice it, the faster it seems to beat. There's no logical reason for it. But logic doesn't matter when your heart is hammering against your ribs and you can't make it stop. This is the second signal most people ignore. They tell themselves it's just anxiety, just stress. It'll pass. They take deep breaths and try to calm down. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But either way, they brush it off and move on. Here's what you need to understand. A racing heart isn't just anxiety. It's your body's alarm system going off. It's telling you that your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode. And the longer it stays there, the more damage it does. When stress hits, your body releases adrenaline and cortisol, the hormones designed to prepare you for immediate physical action. Your heart rate increases. Your blood pressure rises. Your blood vessels constrict. This is supposed to give you a burst of energy to escape danger. It's supposed to last a few minutes, then disappear. But chronic stress keeps flooding your body with these hormones. Day after day. Meeting after meeting. Crisis after crisis. Your heart keeps racing because your nervous system never gets the signal that the danger has passed. It thinks you're still under attack. So it keeps your heart pounding, ready to respond to a threat that never comes. According to research published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, chronic stress and anxiety significantly increase heart rate and can lead to sustained tachycardia, a condition where your heart consistently beats faster than normal. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. When your heart races constantly, it doesn't get enough time to rest between beats. Over time, this can weaken your heart muscle, increase your risk of arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, and even lead to heart failure. Stress-induced tachycardia also increases your risk of high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, heart attack, and stroke. Every time your heart races from stress, it's working harder than it should. And eventually, that extra work takes a toll. But here's what makes this signal so terrifying. A racing heart often triggers more anxiety. You feel your heart pounding, and your brain interprets that as a sign of danger. So it releases more adrenaline, which makes your heart beat even faster, which makes you more anxious. The cycle feeds itself. This is why panic attacks feel so overwhelming. Your body is caught in a feedback loop between your heart and your brain, each one amplifying the other. Cleveland Clinic researchers found that people with anxiety disorders are significantly more likely to experience heart palpitations and tachycardia than those without anxiety. The constant activation of the fight or flight system keeps the heart in a state of high alert, even when there's no actual threat. Your heart doesn't know the difference between a lion chasing you and a stressful email. It responds the same way. And there's another layer to this. Hyperventilation. When you're anxious or stressed, your breathing often becomes shallow and rapid. You might not even notice it. But this rapid breathing throws off the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in your blood. Your blood vessels constrict. Your heart has to work even harder to pump blood through your body. This triggers another surge in heart rate, creating yet another feedback loop. The truth is, your racing heart isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is, it's been activated too often, for too long, by threats that don't actually require a physical response. And now it's stuck in overdrive. But here's the good news. You can reset this system. You can calm your racing heart, not by forcing it to slow down, not by panicking about it, but by sending your nervous system clear signals that you're safe, that the danger has passed, that it's okay to stand down. Let me show you how. The 4 to 7-8 breathing technique. Resetting your nervous system in 90 seconds. This technique, developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, is one of the fastest ways to calm a racing heart. It works by activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system responsible for rest and relaxation. When you slow down your breath in this specific pattern, you send a direct signal to your brain that you're safe. And when your brain gets that signal, it stops flooding your body with adrenaline. Here's how to do it. Sit or lie down comfortably. Place the tip of your tongue against the ridge of tissue behind your upper front teeth. Keep it there throughout the entire exercise. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whooshing sound. Close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8, making the same whooshing sound. That's one cycle. Repeat this 4 times. The key is the exhale. When you exhale for longer than you inhale, you activate the vagus nerve, the main nerve of your parasympathetic nervous system. This sends a signal to your heart to slow down. It's not magic, it's physiology. Do this technique whenever you feel your heart racing. Do it before stressful meetings. Do it before bed if your heart is keeping you awake. Do it in your car before walking into a difficult situation. 4 cycles takes less than 2 minutes, and it can bring your heart rate down significantly. Box breathing. The technique Navy SEALs use to stay calm under pressure. This is another powerful breathing technique used by people who need to stay calm in life or death situations. It's called box breathing because you visualize each side of a box as you breathe. Here's how it works. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. Hold your breath, empty lungs, for a count of 4. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes. This technique works because it gives your mind something specific to focus on, the counting, while regulating your breathing pattern. The equal lengths of inhalation, holding, exhalation, and holding create a rhythm that your nervous system recognizes as safe. It interrupts the panic spiral and gives your heart permission to slow down. Use this technique when you're in the middle of a stressful situation and can't leave. When you're in a meeting and feel your heart starting to race. When you're stuck in traffic and anxiety is rising. You can do this anywhere, and no one will even notice. Cold water to the face. The emergency reset. This technique sounds strange, but it's incredibly effective for stopping a racing heart fast. It's based on something called the mammalian dive reflex, a built-in survival mechanism that automatically slows your heart rate when your face comes into contact with cold water. Here's how to use it. Fill a bowl with ice-cold water, or fill a sink with cold water and add ice cubes. Take a deep breath, then submerge your face in the water for 10 to 15 seconds. Come up for air, breathe normally, then repeat 2 more times. If you can't submerge your face, splash cold water on your face, focusing on your cheeks and forehead. Or hold an ice pack against your face for 30 seconds. This technique triggers an immediate physiological response that slows your heart rate. It's one of the fastest ways to interrupt a panic attack or calm severe palpitations. Keep this in your emergency toolkit for moments when nothing else is working. What to do when your heart races at night. Many people experience their worst heart racing at night, right when they're trying to sleep. This happens because when you lie down and everything gets quiet, you become hyper-aware of your heartbeat. And that awareness can trigger anxiety, which makes your heart race more. If this happens to you, don't lie there and panic. Get up. Go to another room. Do the 4 to 7 to 8 breathing technique 5 times. Drink a glass of cold water, then return to bed and do the body scan from Chapter 1. Focus on relaxing each part of your body, one at a time. This redirects your attention away from your heartbeat and gives your nervous system something else to focus on. Another helpful technique. Place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat. Instead of fearing it, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, my heart is working hard. It's trying to protect me. But I'm safe. I don't need this protection right now. This simple reframe can reduce the anxiety spiral that makes your heart race even faster. A racing heart isn't your enemy. It's not trying to hurt you. It's a signal. It's your body's way of saying, I've been in survival mode for too long. I need you to help me feel safe again. Every time your heart races for no apparent reason, it's telling you that stress has accumulated to a level your nervous system can't handle anymore. It's asking you to slow down, to breathe, to rest, to give it permission to stand down. The techniques in this chapter aren't just band-aids. They're tools that retrain your nervous system. The more you use them, the more your body learns that it doesn't have to stay in fight or flight mode all the time. Over time, your heart will race less often. The episodes will be shorter, and you'll feel more in control. But a racing heart is just the second signal. And if you've been ignoring it, your body has more to say. Let's move to the third signal, one that shows up in a place most people don't expect. Chapter 3. When stress hits you in the gut, the mind-body connection. You can't ignore you're about to walk into an important meeting, or give a presentation, or have a difficult conversation. And suddenly, your stomach ties itself into knots. Maybe it's a dull ache. Maybe it's sharp cramping. Maybe it's nausea that makes you feel like you might throw up. Maybe it's that urgent feeling that sends you running to the bathroom. You know this feeling. You've had it before. And you've probably brushed it off as nerves. But it's not just nerves. It's your gut telling you that stress has crossed a dangerous threshold. The connection between your brain and your digestive system is so powerful that scientists call your gut the second brain. Your intestines contain over 100 million nerve cells, more than your spinal cord. This network, called the enteric nervous system, controls digestion independently from your brain. But it also communicates constantly with your brain through what's called the gut-brain axis. This connection goes both ways. When your brain experiences stress, it sends signals to your gut. And when your gut is in distress, it sends signals back to your brain. This is why anxiety can cause stomach pain, and why chronic digestive problems can trigger anxiety and depression. They're not separate issues. They're two sides of the same coin. Here's what happens when stress hits your gut. The moment your brain perceives a threat, it activates your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response. Your body immediately diverts blood and energy away from digestion and toward your muscles, heart, and lungs. Because when your ancestors faced a predator, digesting food wasn't a priority. Surviving was. So your digestive system shuts down. Muscle contractions that move food through your intestines slow or stop. The production of digestive enzymes decreases. Blood flow to your stomach and intestines is restricted. Your entire digestive process grinds to a halt. This is fine if the stress lasts a few minutes. Your body is designed to handle short-term disruptions. But when stress becomes chronic, when your nervous system stays activated for hours, days, weeks, your digestive system can't function properly. And that's when the problems start. Research published in the journal Neurogastroenterology and Motility shows that chronic stress significantly disrupts gut function. It slows gastric emptying, meaning food sits in your stomach longer than it should. This can cause bloating, nausea, acid reflux, and heartburn. It also alters gut motility, the movement of food through your intestines. Some people experience constipation because their intestines slow down. Others experience diarrhea because their intestines speed up. Both are signs that your gut-brain axis is out of balance. But the damage goes deeper. Chronic stress increases intestinal permeability, a condition commonly known as leaky gut. When this happens, the tight junctions between the cells lining your intestinal wall become loose. This allows bacteria, toxins, and partially digested food particles to leak into your bloodstream. Your immune system recognizes these as foreign invaders and launches an inflammatory response. This inflammation doesn't just affect your gut, it affects your entire body, including your brain. Studies have shown that this gut inflammation is directly linked to anxiety and depression. When inflammatory molecules from your gut enter your bloodstream and reach your brain, they trigger changes in neurotransmitter production. Serotonin, dopamine, and other mood-regulating chemicals become imbalanced. This is why people with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, Crohn's disease, and other chronic gut conditions have significantly higher rates of anxiety and depression. And here's the part most people don't realize. About 90% of your body's serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates mood, sleep, and appetite, is produced in your gut, not your brain. When your digestive system is under chronic stress, serotonin production drops. This is why gut problems and mental health problems so often go hand in hand. You can't separate them. Chronic stress also wreaks havoc on your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your intestines. These bacteria play a crucial role in digestion, immune function, and even brain health. But stress alters the composition of your gut bacteria. Beneficial bacteria die off. Harmful bacteria overgrow. This imbalance, called dysbiosis, contributes to inflammation, digestive problems, and worsening mental health. Research from the University of Cork shows that people with chronic stress have significantly altered gut microbiomes compared to those without stress. And when researchers transfer the gut bacteria from stressed animals into non-stressed animals, the non-stressed animals develop anxiety-like behaviors. This proves that gut bacteria directly influence brain function and emotional regulation. So when stress hits you in the gut, it's not just discomfort. It's a cascade of biological changes that affect your digestion, your immune system, your mood, and your overall health. Your gut is screaming for help. And if you keep ignoring it, the damage compounds. But here's the truth you need to hear. You can heal this. You can restore balance to your gut-brain axis. You can calm the inflammation, repair the damage, and teach your digestive system to function properly again. It starts with simple, practical techniques that signal to your nervous system that it's safe to rest and digest. Diaphragmatic breathing, the fastest way to activate. Rest and digest. Your breathing is the most powerful tool you have for calming your gut. When you breathe deeply from your diaphragm, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest, digestion, and healing. This is the opposite of fight or flight. And when you activate it, your body immediately shifts gears. Here's how to do it. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, just below your rib cage. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. As you breathe in, focus on expanding your belly, not your chest. Your hand on your belly should rise. Your hand on your chest should stay relatively still. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. As you breathe out, feel your belly fall. Repeat this for 5 minutes. This technique works because your diaphragm, the large muscle beneath your lungs, presses down on your vagus nerve when you breathe deeply. The vagus nerve is the main communication highway between your brain and your gut. When you stimulate it through deep breathing, it sends a direct signal to your digestive system. It's safe now. You can relax. You can digest. Do this technique before every meal. It primes your digestive system to function properly. Do it whenever you feel stomach pain, nausea, or cramping from stress. It interrupts the stress response and gives your gut permission to calm down. The 5-5-5 grounding technique for acute gut distress. When you're in the middle of a stress-induced stomach episode, cramping, nausea, the urgent need to run to the bathroom, you need a technique that works fast. This grounding exercise redirects your nervous system's attention away from the threat response and back into the present moment. Here's how it works. Identify 5 things you can see. Look around you. Name them out loud or in your mind. I see a door. I see a chair. I see a window. I see my phone. I see a plant. Identify 5 things you can hear. Close your eyes if it helps. I hear traffic outside. I hear the hum of the air conditioner. I hear my own breathing. I hear a dog barking. I hear a clock ticking. Identify 5 things you can physically feel. I feel my feet on the floor. I feel the chair supporting my back. I feel the fabric of my shirt. I feel my hands resting on my legs. I feel the coolness of the air. This technique works because it pulls your attention out of the panic spiral and back into your body. It gives your brain something concrete to focus on instead of the perceived threat. And when your brain stops perceiving threat, your gut can start to relax. What to do right now? If your stomach is in knots, if you're experiencing stress-related gut pain right now, here's what you can do immediately. Find a private space if possible. Sit down or lie on your back with your knees bent. Place both hands on your stomach. Feel the warmth of your hands. Take 3 slow, deep belly breaths using the diaphragmatic technique above. Gently massage your stomach in clockwise circles. This follows the natural direction of your colon and can help relieve cramping and bloating. If you feel nauseous, try sucking on ice chips or sipping cold water slowly. Cold temperature can calm an overactive vagus nerve response. If you feel the urgent need for the bathroom, don't fight it. Stress-induced diarrhea is your body's way of clearing out what it perceives as a threat. Resisting it only increases anxiety. Your gut isn't your enemy. It's not betraying you by reacting to stress. It's trying to protect you. Every time your stomach tightens, every time you feel nauseous before a stressful event, your gut is communicating with you. It's saying, I can't keep functioning like this. I need you to slow down. I need you to feel safe. The techniques in this chapter aren't just temporary fixes. They're retraining exercises. The more you practice them, the more you teach your nervous system that digestion is safe, that your body can relax, that you don't have to stay in survival mode. But gut distress is just the 3rd signal. And if you've been ignoring it, your body has more warnings to send. Let's move to the 4th signal, one that drains you more than you realize. Chapter 4. The exhaustion that sleep can't fix. Understanding chronic fatigue. You're tired. Bone-deep, soul-crushing tired. You slept 8 hours last night, maybe more. But you woke up feeling like you barely closed your eyes. Like you've been running all night. Like your body is made of concrete. You drag yourself through the day, and every task feels monumental. Making breakfast, getting dressed, answering emails. Things that used to be automatic now require effort you don't have. You fantasize about lying down, about sleeping for days, about just stopping. But sleep doesn't help. You can rest all weekend and still wake up Monday feeling depleted. You can take a vacation and come back just as exhausted as when you left. The fatigue follows you everywhere. It's not about needing more sleep. It's about something deeper, something broken. This is the 4th signal most people ignore. They tell themselves they're just busy, just stressed, just getting older. And they drink more coffee, push through, and convince themselves it'll get better when things slow down. But things never slow down, and the exhaustion gets worse. Here's what you need to understand. Chronic fatigue isn't normal tiredness. It's not the kind of exhaustion you get after a long day or a hard workout. It's your body's way of telling you that stress has depleted your energy reserves so completely that you're running on fumes. And if you don't stop and refuel, you're heading for complete burnout. When stress becomes chronic, your body stays in a constant state of high alert. Your adrenal glands, small organs that sit on top of your kidneys, pump out cortisol and adrenaline continuously. These hormones are supposed to give you bursts of energy to deal with emergencies. But when the emergency never ends, your adrenals work overtime for days, weeks, months, eventually burning out. Researchers call this adrenal fatigue or adrenal exhaustion. Your adrenal glands become so depleted that they can't produce enough cortisol to keep you functioning. Your energy crashes, your motivation disappears, and simple tasks feel impossible. This isn't laziness or being out of shape. This is your body shutting down non-essential functions to conserve what little energy it has left. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology shows that chronic stress disrupts the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, the system that regulates your stress response. When this system becomes dysregulated, cortisol levels don't follow their natural rhythm anymore. Normally, cortisol is highest in the morning to help you wake up, then gradually decreases throughout the day. But in people with chronic stress, this pattern flattens or reverses. Cortisol stays high at night, which disrupts sleep, and drops dangerously low during the day, which causes crushing fatigue. But the damage goes beyond cortisol. Chronic stress also depletes other critical hormones and neurotransmitters. DHEA, a master hormone involved in producing testosterone, estrogen, and other vital hormones, drops significantly under prolonged stress. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter that drives motivation and pleasure, becomes depleted. Serotonin, which regulates mood and energy, decreases. Your thyroid function slows down, and your blood sugar regulation becomes unstable. The result? You feel exhausted even after sleeping, can't concentrate, can't remember things, and lose interest in activities you used to enjoy. You feel irritable, overwhelmed, and unable to cope with even minor stressors. This is your body in survival mode, conserving every bit of energy it has left for essential functions like breathing and keeping your heart beating. And here's the part that makes this so dangerous. Chronic fatigue creates a vicious cycle. When you're exhausted, you're less able to handle stress. So stress feels more overwhelming, which makes you more exhausted, which makes stress harder to handle. The cycle feeds itself, and the longer it continues, the harder it is to break. Studies show that people with chronic stress-induced fatigue are significantly more likely to develop serious health problems: heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, depression, and anxiety disorders. Their immune systems weaken, making them more susceptible to infections. Their cognitive function declines, affecting memory, focus, and decision-making. Their risk of early death increases. This isn't just about feeling tired. This is about your body breaking down under the weight of stress it was never designed to carry. But here's the truth you need to hear. You can recover from this. You can rebuild your energy reserves, restore your adrenal function, and teach your body how to produce energy sustainably again. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen if you give your body what it desperately needs: rest, boundaries, and consistent recovery practices. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every day, you make withdrawals: work, relationships, responsibilities, stress, and you make deposits. Sleep, nutrition, rest, joy, connection. When you're healthy, your deposits outweigh your withdrawals, and you end each day with a positive balance. But when stress becomes chronic, you're making massive withdrawals every single day with almost no deposits. Your account goes into overdraft. At first, your body can handle it because it has reserves. But eventually, those reserves run dry. And that's when the exhaustion hits. Recovery means stopping the withdrawals and dramatically increasing the deposits. It means saying no to things that drain you, protecting your sleep like your life depends on it, because it does, and prioritizing rest even when it feels impossible, especially when it feels impossible. The 3 levels of rest. You're missing. Most people think rest means sleep. But there are 3 types of rest your body needs. And if you're only focusing on one, you'll stay exhausted. Physical rest. This is sleep, naps, lying down, and reducing physical activity. If you're chronically fatigued, you need more of this than you think. Not just 8 hours of sleep, but 9, 10, whatever your body needs. Your body is trying to repair damage that's been accumulating for months or years, and it needs time. Mental rest. This is turning off your brain, stopping the endless mental chatter, not thinking about work, problems, or what you need to do next. Meditation, gentle walks without your phone, sitting in silence, staring at the sky. Your brain uses massive amounts of energy, so give it permission to power down. Emotional rest. This is the hardest one because it means not performing, not pretending you're fine when you're not putting on a brave face, and not managing other people's emotions. It means letting yourself feel exhausted without judgment, saying, "I can't do this right now," without guilt. Emotional labor drains you faster than anything else, and until you stop doing it, you won't recover. Micro-recovery practices. Building energy. Throughout the day. You don't have to wait until you have a week off to start recovering. You can rebuild energy in small, consistent ways throughout your day. These micro-practices signal to your nervous system that it's safe to rest, that you're not in danger, and that it can start producing energy sustainably again. The 90-minute rule. Your brain works in 90-minute cycles of focus and rest. After 90 minutes of concentrated work, your brain needs a break. Not checking your phone or scrolling social media, but a real break. Stand up, walk outside, stretch, breathe for 5 minutes. That's all it takes. But if you skip these breaks and push through all day, your energy crashes. The 5-minute reset. Set a timer every 2 hours. When it goes off, stop everything. Close your eyes. Take 5 slow, deep breaths. Roll your shoulders, stretch your neck, and notice how your body feels. This interrupts the stress response and gives your nervous system permission to reset. The power of no. Every time you say yes to something you don't have energy for, you withdraw from your energy bank. Start saying no, not eventually, not when things slow down, but now. I can't take that on right now. I need to rest this weekend. I'm not available. These aren't excuses. They're survival. What to do when you're too tired to function? If you're reading this and you're in the middle of severe fatigue, where getting out of bed feels impossible, where you can barely think straight, where even basic tasks feel overwhelming, here's what you do. Stop. Don't push through or just get through the day. Stop. Call in sick, cancel your plans, ask for help. This is not weakness. This is your body demanding that you listen. Sleep as much as you need. Your body is trying to repair, so let it. If you sleep 12 hours, fine. If you need to nap during the day, do it. Your body knows what it needs better than your schedule does. Eat regularly, even if you're not hungry, because blood sugar crashes make fatigue worse. Simple, nourishing food. Protein, healthy fats, complex carbs. Don't skip meals. Hydrate throughout the day because dehydration mimics fatigue, and your brain needs water to function. Move gently, not with exercise or workouts, but with gentle movement like a slow walk or gentle stretching. This signals to your body that you're safe and that it can start rebuilding. Chronic exhaustion isn't a character flaw, laziness, or weakness. It's your body's last-ditch effort to make you stop, to force you to rest, to protect you from complete collapse. Every day you wake up exhausted, your body is screaming at you. I can't keep doing this. Something has to change. The techniques in this chapter aren't quick fixes. Recovery from chronic fatigue takes time. But every small choice you make to protect your energy, to prioritize rest, to set boundaries, these are deposits in your energy bank. And over time, those deposits add up. Your body will heal, your energy will return, but only if you finally listen to what it's been trying to tell you. But exhaustion is just the fourth signal. And if you've been ignoring it, your body has more warnings to send. Let's move to the fifth signal, one that's stealing your rest even when you're trying to sleep. Chapter 5. When your brain won't shut down, the sleep you can't find. It's midnight. You're exhausted. You've been tired all day, counting down the hours until you could finally lie down and rest. And now you're in bed, eyes closed, body still, ready for sleep to come. But it doesn't. Your mind is racing, cycling through everything that happened today and everything you need to do tomorrow. The conversation you had at work replays on loop. The bill you forgot to pay surfaces. The email you should have sent. The decision you need to make. Your thoughts jump from one thing to the next, never stopping, never slowing down, keeping you wide awake when all you want to do is sleep. You check the clock. It's 1 a.m., then 2 a.m., then 3 a.m. The more you try to sleep, the more awake you feel. The more frustrated you become, the more anxious about not sleeping, which makes sleep even more impossible. And when morning comes, you're more exhausted than when you went to bed. This is the fifth signal most people ignore. They blame it on caffeine, on their mattress, on the noise outside, on anything except what's really happening. Their nervous system is stuck in overdrive, and stress has hijacked their ability to rest. Here's what you need to understand. Sleep problems aren't about willpower or discipline. They're not about trying harder to relax. When stress becomes chronic, it fundamentally disrupts the biological systems that control sleep. Your body wants to sleep, but stress hormones won't let it. Sleep is regulated by two main hormones: melatonin, which makes you sleepy, and cortisol, which keeps you awake and alert. In a healthy sleep cycle, cortisol is high in the morning to help you wake up, then gradually decreases throughout the day. Melatonin rises in the evening, peaks at night, and drops in the morning. This rhythm is controlled by your circadian clock, your body's internal 24-hour cycle. But chronic stress throws this entire system off balance. When you're stressed, your body produces elevated cortisol throughout the day and into the evening when it should be dropping. High cortisol at night suppresses melatonin production, making it nearly impossible to feel sleepy even when you're exhausted. Your body is flooded with an alertness hormone right when it needs to wind down. Research published in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology shows that people with chronic stress have significantly elevated cortisol levels at bedtime compared to those without stress. This elevated cortisol keeps the brain in a state of hyperarousal, making it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. Even when you do manage to drift off, the sleep is fragmented and light, never reaching the deep, restorative stages your body desperately needs. But the damage goes deeper. Chronic insomnia doesn't just make you tired, it disrupts every system in your body. Sleep is when your body heals damaged tissues, consolidates memories, regulates hormones, and clears toxins from your brain. When sleep is disrupted night after night, none of these critical processes happen properly. Studies show that chronic sleep deprivation increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. Your immune system weakens, making you more susceptible to infections and illness. Your ability to regulate emotions deteriorates, leading to mood swings, irritability, and difficulty handling stress. The less you sleep, the more stressed you become. The more stressed you become, the less you sleep. The cycle feeds itself endlessly. And here's what makes this particularly devastating. The anxiety about not being able to sleep becomes another layer of stress. You lie in bed worrying about how tired you'll be tomorrow, how you won't be able to function, how you're going to get through the day. This worry triggers more cortisol release, which makes sleep even more elusive. Your bed becomes a place of frustration instead of rest. Your bedroom becomes associated with anxiety instead of calm. But here's the truth you need to hear. You can fix this. You can retrain your body to sleep. Not by forcing it, not by taking stronger medications, but by teaching your nervous system that it's safe to let go. By breaking the association between your bed and stress. By creating conditions that allow your natural sleep systems to function again. The pre-sleep ritual. Teaching your body. It's time to rest. Your body needs clear, consistent signals that bedtime is approaching. Most people go from full-speed stress mode directly into bed and wonder why they can't sleep. You can't flip a switch from alert to asleep. You need a transition period, a ritual that tells your nervous system it's time to wind down. Start this ritual 1 hour before bed. No screens during this time. The blue light from phones, tablets, and computers suppresses melatonin production even further. Turn off the TV, put your phone in another room, and step away from work. Dim the lights in your home. Bright light signals to your brain that it's still daytime, keeping you alert. Use lamps instead of overhead lights, or use dimmer switches if you have them. Take a warm shower or bath. When you step out of the warm water into a cooler room, your body temperature drops, which naturally triggers sleepiness. This mimics the natural temperature drop your body goes through when preparing for sleep. Do something calming and repetitive. Read a physical book, not on a screen. Listen to quiet music. Do gentle stretching. The key is repetition. Doing the same calming activity every night trains your brain to associate that activity with sleep. The 4 to 7 8 breathing technique for sleep. When you're lying in bed and your mind won't stop racing, use this breathing technique to activate your parasympathetic nervous system and signal to your body that it's safe to sleep. Inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8, making a gentle whooshing sound. Repeat this cycle 4 times when you first lie down, and again if you wake up during the night. The extended exhale activates your vagus nerve, which directly tells your brain to shift into rest and digest mode. This isn't just relaxation. It's a biological switch that lowers cortisol and allows melatonin to do its job. What to do when you can't fall asleep? If you've been lying in bed for more than 20 minutes and you're still wide awake, get up. Don't lie there staring at the ceiling, checking the clock, getting more frustrated. This trains your brain to associate your bed with being awake and anxious. Get out of bed and go to another room. Do something boring and calming. Read a book under dim light, fold laundry, listen to quiet music. No screens, no bright lights, no engaging activities. Just something mundane that occupies your mind without stimulating it. Return to bed only when you feel genuinely sleepy. Not just tired, but actually ready to fall asleep. This retrains your brain to associate your bed with sleep, not with lying awake in frustration. The body scan for sleep. When you're lying in bed trying to fall asleep and your mind keeps jumping from thought to thought, redirect your attention to your body. This interrupts the thought spiral and gives your brain something specific and calming to focus on. Start at the top of your head. Notice any tension there without trying to change it. Just observe. Move down to your face, your forehead, eyes, jaw. Let everything soften. Move to your neck and shoulders. Feel them sink into the mattress. Continue down through your arms, chest, stomach, hips, legs, all the way to your toes. If your mind wanders back to thoughts, gently bring it back to the body scan. Keep your breathing slow and steady. This technique works because it occupies your conscious mind with a calming task while your subconscious drifts towards sleep. Sleep hygiene. The non-negotiables. These aren't suggestions. They're requirements if you want to break the insomnia cycle. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Your body's circadian rhythm thrives on consistency. Irregular sleep schedules confuse your internal clock and make it harder to fall asleep when you want to. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Your body needs a temperature drop to initiate sleep, so keep your room between 60-67 degrees Celsius, 15-19 degrees Celsius. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask to block light. Use earplugs or a white noise machine if needed. Use your bed only for sleep. Don't work in bed. Don't watch TV in bed. Don't scroll your phone in bed. Your brain needs to associate your bed with one thing: sleep. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 hours, meaning half of it is still in your system 5 hours after you drink it. That afternoon coffee you had at 3 p.m. is still affecting you at 8 p.m. Insomnia isn't just an inconvenience. It's your body's way of showing you that stress has reached a level your nervous system can't handle anymore. Every night you lie awake, your body is saying, "I can't turn off the alarm system. I don't feel safe enough to rest." The techniques in this chapter aren't tricks to force yourself to sleep. They're ways to show your nervous system that it's safe to let go, that the danger has passed, that rest is allowed. The more consistently you practice them, the more your body will remember how to sleep naturally. But insomnia is just the 5th signal. And if you've been ignoring it, your body has more to tell you. Let's move to the 6th signal, one that's clouding your ability to think clearly. Chapter 6. The fog in your head. When stress steals your mental clarity, brain fog isn't just forgetting where you put your keys. It's staring at a computer screen for 10 minutes and realizing you haven't processed a single word. It's opening the refrigerator and forgetting why you're standing there. It's reaching for a word you use every day and finding nothing but blank space where it should be. And those headaches, they're not the sharp, sudden kind that makes you stop what you're doing. They're the dull, constant pressure that wraps around your skull like a tight band, settling behind your eyes and at your temples, refusing to leave no matter how much water you drink or how many painkillers you take. Most people assume these are just minor annoyances, the price of a busy life. They're not. They're your brain telling you that stress has pushed it past the point where it can function optimally. The connection between stress and cognitive impairment is backed by decades of neuroscience research. When stress becomes chronic, elevated cortisol levels begin damaging the hippocampus, the brain structure responsible for forming and retrieving memories. A study published in JAMA Network Open found that people with high stress levels are 37% more likely to experience cognitive decline, even after controlling for age, education, and other health factors. But the damage doesn't stop at memory. Chronic stress triggers widespread inflammation throughout the body, including neuroinflammation in the brain. This inflammation disrupts the communication between neurons, slows processing speed, and impairs the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for executive functions like planning, decision-making, and concentration. Essentially, your brain shifts from optimal function mode into survival mode, prioritizing immediate threat detection over complex thinking. Research shows that chronic stress impairs working memory, attention span, response inhibition, and cognitive flexibility. In one study, participants who were exposed to acute stress, improvising a speech in front of an audience for 10 minutes, showed significantly reduced memory and planning abilities immediately afterward compared to before the stress. Stress literally makes you less capable of thinking clearly in the moment. And then there's the physical pain. Tension headaches caused by stress are the most common type of headache, affecting an estimated 42% of the global population. These headaches aren't random. They're the direct result of prolonged muscle contraction in the neck, shoulders, and scalp, combined with sensitized pain pathways in the brain. Here's the mechanism. When you're stressed, muscles in your neck and shoulders contract and stay contracted for extended periods. This sustained tension reduces blood flow to those muscles, causing them to become tender and trigger pain signals. Simultaneously, chronic stress sensitizes the central nervous system's pain processing centers, making your brain more reactive to pain signals. Research published in Cephalalgia shows that people with chronic tension headaches have increased muscle tenderness and reduced pain thresholds, meaning their brains interpret normal sensations as painful. The result is that dull, constant ache that wraps around your head, pressure behind your eyes, heaviness in your forehead, and pain radiating from your neck to your temples. This pain isn't psychosomatic or imaginary. It's the physical manifestation of stress overload. And here's what makes this combination of brain fog and headaches particularly dangerous. They create a vicious cycle. Brain fog makes it harder to manage stress because you can't think clearly, solve problems effectively, or remember important information. Headaches make it harder to concentrate, which increases frustration and stress. The more stressed you become, the worse your brain fog and headaches get, and the cycle perpetuates itself. But understanding the biology means understanding the solution. You can reverse this damage, clear the mental fog, reduce the headaches, and restore your brain's ability to function at its best. The key is addressing the root cause, the chronic stress overwhelming your nervous system. The 5-minute brain reset. Clearing the fog. When mental fog hits and you need clarity fast, use this sequence to reset your brain. Step away from your work and move to a different location. Outside if possible, or at least near a window with natural light. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This lowers cortisol and increases oxygen flow to your brain. Do 20 jumping jacks or march in place for 30 seconds. Physical movement increases cerebral blood flow and helps clear mental cobwebs. Drink a full glass of water. Dehydration worsens brain fog, and most people are chronically underhydrated. Splash cold water on your face and wrists. The cold stimulates the vagus nerve and signals your brain to shift out of stress mode. Return to your task with noticeably improved clarity and focus. Repeat this reset every 90 minutes throughout your day to prevent brain fog from accumulating. The pressure point technique for headache relief. When tension headaches strike, use these acupressure points to interrupt the pain cycle without medication. Place your thumbs at the base of your skull where your neck meets your head, pressing firmly into the muscles on either side of your spine. Hold for 10 seconds, release for 5 seconds, and repeat 3 times. This releases tension in the suboccipital muscles, major contributors to tension headaches. Find the soft spot between your thumb and index finger on the back of your hand. Press firmly with the thumb of your opposite hand and massage in small circles for 30 seconds. This acupressure point connects directly to pain relief in the head and face. Place your index and middle fingers on your temples and massage in slow circles for 30 seconds. Then move your fingers just above your eyebrows and repeat. This releases facial muscle tension and improves blood flow. Gently massage your jaw muscles by placing fingers on your cheeks just below your cheekbones, pressing and massaging in circles for 30 seconds. Most people hold enormous jaw tension without realizing it, and this tension directly contributes to headaches. Cognitive rest. Giving your brain permission to stop your brain can't function optimally when it's constantly processing information and making decisions. It needs periods of true cognitive rest. Not sleep, but waking rest, where it doesn't have to think, analyze, or solve problems. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Sit or lie down in a quiet place without reading, listening to anything with words, or thinking about problems. Just exist. Let your mind wander without directing it, noticing sounds and sensations without analyzing them. This practice gives your prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive function, a chance to reset and recover. Do this twice daily, once mid-morning and once mid-afternoon. Research shows that regular cognitive rest improves focus, memory, and problem-solving ability far more effectively than pushing through without breaks. The neck and shoulder release for preventing headaches. Most tension headaches originate in neck and shoulder muscles that contract and stay contracted for hours or days. Breaking this tension before it triggers a headache is far more effective than treating the headache after it starts. Every hour, complete this simple release sequence. Roll your shoulders backward 10 times, then forward 10 times. Tilt your head to the right, bringing your ear toward your shoulder, and hold for 10 seconds. Then repeat on the left. Drop your chin to your chest and hold for 10 seconds, feeling the stretch in the back of your neck. Gently turn your head to the right as far as comfortable. Hold for 10 seconds, then repeat on the left. This entire sequence takes less than 2 minutes and prevents the muscle tension that leads to headaches. What to do when brain fog won't lift? If persistent brain fog makes it hard to function. Despite these techniques, it's time to address underlying inflammation and cortisol dysregulation. Prioritize sleep above everything else. Brain fog often signals insufficient deep sleep needed to clear metabolic waste and repair damage. Commit to 8-9 hours nightly for at least 2 weeks. Reduce inflammatory foods, processed foods, excess sugar, alcohol, and increase anti-inflammatory foods, leafy greens, fatty fish, berries, nuts. Brain inflammation responds directly to dietary changes. Move your body daily, even if just a 20-minute walk. Exercise increases cerebral blood flow, reduces inflammation, and promotes new brain cell growth. Consider omega-3 supplements, fish oil or algae-based, and vitamin D if deficient. Both are crucial for brain function and commonly depleted in people with chronic stress. Brain fog and tension headaches aren't signs of aging or insufficient effort. They're your brain's way of communicating that stress has exceeded its capacity for normal function. Every moment of struggle to focus, every dull ache of pressure in your head, is your brain screaming, "I need rest. I need relief. I can't keep doing this." The techniques in this chapter aren't temporary fixes. They're tools that retrain your nervous system, reduce inflammation, and create conditions your brain needs to heal. The more consistently you use them, the clearer your mind becomes. But brain fog and headaches are just the sixth signal. And if you've been ignoring them, your body has one more warning to send. One that shows up in every breath you take. Chapter 7. The one signal you can't hide. Your breath tells the truth. Have you ever noticed that your chest feels tight when you're anxious? That your breaths become shallow and quick, like you're sipping air instead of breathing it? Most people don't. They're so focused on everything else, the deadline, the conflict, the worry, that they never notice their breathing has completely changed. But your breath is the one signal that can't lie. It reveals exactly what's happening in your nervous system, whether you're aware of it or not. Here's the remarkable thing. Your breathing is both automatic and voluntary. You don't have to think about it to keep breathing, but you can also consciously change it at any moment. This makes your breath the most powerful tool you have for controlling stress, and the clearest indicator when stress is controlling you. When you're calm and relaxed, your breathing is slow, deep, and diaphragmatic. Your belly expands as you inhale, your shoulders stay relaxed, and each breath fills your lungs completely. This type of breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, which keeps your heart rate steady, your blood pressure normal, and your mind clear. But when stress hits, everything changes. Your breathing shifts from your diaphragm to your chest. It becomes shallow, rapid, and irregular. You're taking quick little breaths from your upper chest instead of deep, full breaths from your belly. This type of breathing, called thoracic or chest breathing, activates your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, which floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Here's the problem. Chronic stress keeps you locked in chest breathing mode for hours or days at a time. You're constantly taking shallow, rapid breaths without even realizing it. And this creates a cascade of physical and psychological symptoms that most people have no idea are connected to how they're breathing. Research published in the journal Physiology and Behavior shows that people with chronic anxiety and stress exhibit significantly altered breathing patterns compared to non-anxious individuals. They breathe faster, shallower, and more irregularly, and they're far more likely to hyperventilate without even knowing it. And here's what most people don't understand about hyperventilation. It doesn't mean breathing fast and gasping for air. Chronic hyperventilation is subtle. It happens when you're breathing slightly faster or deeper than your body needs, expelling carbon dioxide faster than your body produces it. Over time, this lowers the baseline level of CO2 in your blood, which has devastating effects. Carbon dioxide isn't just a waste product your body needs to get rid of. It plays a critical role in regulating oxygen delivery to your cells, maintaining blood pH, and controlling your breathing rate. When CO2 levels drop too low from chronic overbreathing, your blood vessels constrict, reducing blood flow to your brain. This causes brain fog, dizziness, difficulty concentrating, and memory problems. Low CO2 also increases the excitability of your nervous system, making you more sensitive to stress and anxiety. Studies show that people who chronically hyperventilate are significantly more likely to experience panic attacks. And when they do panic, their symptoms are more severe. This is because low CO2 makes your brain perceive danger even when there isn't any, keeping you in a constant state of hyperarousal. And there's another layer to this. When you breathe shallowly from your chest, your body interprets this as a sign of danger. Your brain reads chest breathing as, "Something is wrong, we need to stay alert." which triggers more cortisol release, which keeps you breathing shallowly, which keeps your brain in threat mode. The cycle perpetuates itself automatically. But here's the truth that will change everything. You can break this cycle in seconds. Simply by changing how you breathe, you can send a direct signal to your nervous system that you're safe, that the threat has passed, and that it's okay to stand down. Your breath is the fastest, most powerful tool you have for controlling your stress response. Diaphragmatic breathing. Retraining your body to breathe correctly. Most adults have forgotten how to breathe properly. Watch a baby or young child breathe. Their belly rises and falls with each breath. Their shoulders stay still. Their breathing is slow and rhythmic. That's how your body is designed to breathe. But years of stress, poor posture, and chest breathing have trained you to breathe incorrectly. Retraining your breath starts with learning to engage your diaphragm, the large, dome-shaped muscle beneath your lungs that does most of the work of breathing when you're calm and relaxed. Here's how to practice diaphragmatic breathing. Lie on your back or sit comfortably with your back straight. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, just below your ribcage. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, focusing on expanding your belly, not your chest. Your hand on your belly should rise significantly, while your hand on your chest stays relatively still. Hold your breath gently for a count of 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6, allowing your belly to fall as you release the air completely. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes, twice a day, once in the morning and once before bed. This isn't just a relaxation exercise. This is retraining your nervous system to recognize what safe breathing feels like. The more you practice diaphragmatic breathing during calm moments, the easier it becomes to access it during stressful moments. Box breathing for immediate stress relief. When you're in the middle of a stressful situation and you need to calm down quickly, use this technique. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 4 counts. Hold your breath, lungs empty, for 4 counts. Repeat this cycle for 2 minutes or until you feel your heart rate slow and your mind clear. This technique works because the equal lengths of inhalation, retention, exhalation, and suspension create a rhythm that your nervous system recognizes as balanced and safe. It interrupts the stress response and shifts you out of fight or flight mode. The CO2 tolerance test. Discovering how stressed you really are. Want to know how much chronic stress has affected your breathing? Try this simple test. Sit comfortably and breathe normally for a minute. After a normal exhale, not a deep breath, pinch your nose and start a timer. Hold your breath comfortably. Don't push to your maximum, just hold until you feel the first urge to breathe. When you feel that first urge, release your nose and note the time. A healthy, unstressed person can comfortably hold their breath for 25 to 40 seconds before feeling the need to breathe. If you can only hold for 10 to 20 seconds, your CO2 tolerance is low, which means you've been chronically overbreathing due to stress. This low tolerance makes you more susceptible to anxiety, panic attacks, and stress-related symptoms. The good news: you can improve your CO2 tolerance by practicing slow, diaphragmatic breathing daily. As your tolerance increases, your resilience to stress increases as well. Breath awareness. Throughout the day, set a reminder on your phone to go off every 2 hours. When it does, pause and notice your breathing. Are you breathing from your chest or your belly? Is your breath shallow or deep, fast or slow? If you notice chest breathing, immediately shift to 3 slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths. This simple practice retrains your body to default to calm breathing instead of stress breathing. Of all the stress signals your body sends, your breath is the only one you can consciously control in real time. You can't directly control your heart rate, your cortisol levels, or your muscle tension, but you can control your breathing. And when you control your breathing, everything else follows. Every shallow breath you take reinforces the stress response. Every deep, diaphragmatic breath you take tells your body it's safe to relax. The choice is yours, breath by breath, moment by moment. These 7 signals: muscle tension, racing heart, digestive distress, chronic fatigue, sleep disruption, brain fog and headaches, and shallow breathing, aren't random symptoms. They're your body's early warning system, telling you that stress has crossed from manageable to dangerous. And now that you know how to recognize them and respond to them, you have the power to stop this epidemic before it damages you permanently. Your body has been trying to protect you all along. It's been screaming at you through these 7 signals, begging you to listen, to slow down, to take care of yourself. Now you know its language. Now you can finally hear what it's been trying to say. And that changes everything. Conclusion: everything you've learned in these chapters is already happening inside you. Muscle tension, racing heart, digestive distress, chronic fatigue, sleep disruption, brain fog and headaches, shallow breathing. These 7 signals aren't abstract concepts or distant possibilities. They're real biological processes occurring in your body right now. Messages your nervous system has been sending that you finally know how to decode. The stress epidemic isn't slowing down. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that stress levels in modern society have reached unprecedented highs, with 63% of Americans reporting significant stress about their future, finances, and daily responsibilities. The World Health Organization has called stress the health epidemic of the 21st century, directly linking chronic stress to the rising rates of heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, depression, and anxiety that are devastating millions of lives globally. But here's what makes this epidemic different from any other. You have the power to stop it. Not with medication, not with expensive treatments, but with awareness and action. By finally listening to what your body has been trying to tell you all along. Recovery from chronic stress takes time. Research suggests anywhere from 3 months to a year depending on how long you've been in survival mode. But healing begins the moment you start using the techniques in this book. The moment you take your first deep diaphragmatic breath. The moment you do your first body scan. The moment you set your first boundary and say no to something that drains your energy. These aren't quick fixes. And that's exactly why they work. You're not suppressing symptoms or numbing yourself to get through another day. You're retraining your nervous system to recognize safety, teaching your body how to rest and digest instead of constantly fighting and fleeing, and rebuilding the foundation of health that chronic stress has been eroding. Every technique in this book is backed by science and proven to work. Diaphragmatic breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system in seconds. Progressive muscle relaxation rewires your brain's relationship with tension. Box breathing lowers cortisol and heart rate. The body scan teaches you to release stress before it accumulates. These aren't just relaxation exercises. They're physiological interventions that change how your body responds to stress at the cellular level. But knowing isn't enough. You have to do. You have to practice these techniques consistently, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, because that's when you need them most. Start today, right now. Before you press play on the next thing or scroll to the next piece of content or rush into the next task, take 3 deep breaths. Do a body scan. Notice where you're holding tension and release it. This is how change begins. not with a massive overhaul of your entire life, but with one conscious choice to listen to your body instead of ignoring it. Your body has been screaming at you through these 7 signals, begging you to slow down, to rest, to take care of yourself. It's been trying to protect you from burnout, from collapse, from the diseases that chronic stress causes when it's left unchecked. And now you finally know its language. This is your chance to rewrite your relationship with stress, to stop living in survival mode and start living in a body that feels safe, calm, and capable, to reclaim the energy, clarity, and peace that stress has been stealing from you. The stress epidemic is real, but so is your ability to heal from it. Your body knows what it needs, and now, so do you. Listen to it, protect it, honor it, because this is the only body you have, and it's been waiting for you to finally pay attention.